I love that story, Click Clack Moo by Doreen Conan. Those animals were so persuasive. Can you imagine how tired that farmer was probably hearing about that they needed a typewriter? And they were being very persuasive, and they made sure they had the why they wanted those blankets. You know that you can write letters to persuade others just like those farm animals did in the story. Sometimes writing a letter can be even more powerful than just persuading someone, because instead of being like a book that everyone can read, a letter only goes to the person that you want it to go to. Just like the animals wrote to the farmer, today we will write letters to someone. First, we need to think of what we want to write about, and then we have to think about why we should get it. We know that persuasive writing always has the reason why and then lots of other things to convince them. I have this letter writing paper because a letter always starts with dear, and it always ends with from or love or sincerely. If you want to use the paper that I'm using, you can print it out. I've put it on our website. Or you can just use any type of paper to write a letter. But a letter always starts with dear. I am going to write a letter to Morgan because Morgan has not been doing very much sleeping at nighttime recently. So I'm going to write a letter to him to try to convince him to sleep more at night. So, dear Morgan. A letter, after you put the person's name, there is always a comma, which shows that you are going into the regular part of your letter. So now I have to tell him what I want him to do. So, dear Morgan, I would, that's a sight word, like you to sleep through. That, I'm going to have to stretchy snake out. Ooh, that's really tricky. What says ew? Oh, EW says ew. I would like you to sleep through the night. That's another stretchy snake word. Ooh, maybe it has an E on the end because Teacher Julie taught us that a bossy E makes the I say its name. So n-I-t with an E. Dear Morgan, I would like you to sleep through the night. Now I'm going to tell him the why. Why is sleeping through the night so important? Sleep is I really think this is important, so I'm going to make it bold, because last week we learned that bold words can make your work seem really important. Sleep is really good for your brain. Also, what's my second reason? Well, it's kind of boring to be awake in the nighttime because no one else is awake, so maybe I'll write that. Also, it is really boring. I'm going to underline boring because I don't like to be awake at night. It is really boring to be awake at night. Because B-E-C-A-U-S-E, U-S-E, B-E-C-A-U-S-E, because. That's how you spell because, if you didn't know. It is really boring to be awake at night because everyone is sleeping. Now, maybe I should ask him again to sleep through the night so he really knows that that's what I want him to know. Please sleep more! Exclamation point. Now this letter paper that I'm using automatically uses the word from. And then after from, I'm going to write my name. But because I know Morgan, I could write love or warm wishes or please do this. But I'm going to write from Mommy because that is what Morgan calls me. So here is a letter that I am writing to Morgan to try to convince him to do more sleeping. Remember, a letter always starts with dear, the person's name, and then the comma. And it always ends with a word like from or love or yours truly or sincerely, and then your name. Today, I want you to try to write a letter to persuade someone to do something that you want. You might want to write about a toy that you want, or maybe that you want to eat lunch in the living room, or maybe that you want a new pet. And you are going to think about those ideas and think about why that person should give you what you want. And the why part is really the most important part. And then you're going to write that letter to the person that can get you what you want. Does it have to be perfect? No, but maybe you can stretchy snake some words out like I did with everyone. Maybe you can use some really big bold words to show what you think is important, or underlining words, or adding exclamation points. Those are all things that writers do to show their readers what they are thinking. Have fun with this writing project.